what if we had the limit as x goes to 3 of, let's say, x plus 3, the absolute value of x plus 3, divided by, oops, no, let's make it go to minus 3, divided by the absolute value x, so the absolute value divided by the original thing. Just absolute value of x plus 3 divided by x plus 3. What happens if we have this situation? Oh, Maya wants to do number 7. Okay. Since I started this one, just a real quick argument here, based on the question about absolute values. If you look at, remember this limit implies both sides. Okay. If we don't have a plus or a minus up here, then it means both sides. But then, so in this case, it's not going to infinity. We're gonna look on each side. Okay, so let's look at the limit as x goes to negative 3 from the left of the absolute value of x plus 3 divided by x plus 3. And then let's look at the limit as x goes to negative 3 from the right of x plus 3, absolute value x plus 3 over x plus 3. Okay, now over here from the left, okay, we're saying here x is going to be less than negative 3. Okay, it's going to be less than negative 3, i.e. things like, negative 4, negative 5, it's a, or negative 3 point, actually, let me write that. So this becomes more like, if you're thinking x equal to a number that's less than negative 3 is something that's negative 3.001 or something like that. Okay, so this becomes, if I want to use the logic I was doing before, this becomes, for numbers that are less than negative 3, okay, this quantity x plus 3, so let me see, so if x is less than negative 3, okay, then the absolute value of x plus 3 always has to be a positive number, so it has to be the opposite of whatever x plus 3 is. Right? So then in this case, the limit, it becomes the limit as x goes to negative 3 from the left of the opposite of x plus 3 divided by x plus 3. And therefore, this thing cancels out, and I get that this on this side is negative 1. If we're talking about coming from the right and we're saying x is greater than negative 3, okay, and so if x is greater than try that again. Okay, so if x is greater than negative 3, i.e., x is equal to like negative, 2.999 or whatever, then notice if I plugged in, say, negative 2.99, this whole thing would be positive, and so the absolute value is just going to remain the same. So then the absolute value of x plus 3 will equal x plus 3. And what that means is that when since I'm on this side, I'm doing a right-hand limit, then I can replace this with and say that this is equal to just, well, this is just x plus 3 divided by x plus 3, and the x plus 3 cancel, and I get positive 1. Okay. Which means that, okay, recap that the limit as x goes to -3 from the left of this quantity, x plus 3, x plus 3 divided by absolute value x plus 3 divided by x plus 3 gave us a negative number, whereas coming at it from the right of this quantity here is going to give us, it gave us a positive number. So the absolute value thing really is just looking at what are you allowed to replace the absolute value with. You can't always just replace it with itself. And so oftentimes when you have a limit of as x going to a point and it's not a right or left-handed limit, then the limit will not exist. Okay, so therefore the limit as x goes to -3 of this thing is undefined, does not exist, okay, because left and right limits do not match. Okay, they do not agree. The left-hand limit and the right-hand limit don't match. And if you look at the graph, and I'm going to do number 7 right away, right after this, you look at the graph, it's going to be, if I have absolute value of x plus 3 divided by quantity x plus 3. Let me turn these off. It's a pretty weird function. It's just, here's the, let's do a vertical line, x equals 3. No, x equals -3, the c. Just so you can see where this is. So basically the function is like, you know, y equals 1 on one side, and then on this side it's y equals -1. It has a jump right here, right? So the limit does not exist, it's therefore discontinuous. Okay. Okay. This was in the hours by arrangement, and was on one of the worksheets, and I wanted to make a point of doing this on this web session here. Any questions about what I just did there? Maya, did I answer your question about absolute values by going in that long tangent? Okay. All right.